What up, what up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm J and we're locked in. This is episode 10, the recap of Beauty in Black. And we just seen Kimmy do some of the most unthinkable things. She's trying to save her sister, but she didn't get any questions from the Linda. And let me tell you something. I'm not answering your calls no more, Kimmy. I'm not answering your text message no more, Kimmy. Don't try to call me on Facebook, Kimmy. No one wants anything to do with you. Plus, they're trying to find out where Uncle Norman is to bring him in because Charles is alive, but they know that Norman was capable of putting that hit out. So they need to ask him a few questions. And Olivia, she doesn't want Horace to do it by himself. So before we jump into this and break down episode 10, if you like this kind of content, corrupt families, families that are fighting over that dollar, then Beauty in the Black might be something for you. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You see, I ain't staring. This is serious. Hit that subscribe button. We on that road to 50,000 plus 25,000, 75,000 subscribers. Let's jump into it. Episode 10, Beauty in Black. At the house, it's just Horace and Olivia. And he's telling her, go into the room, go chill out. She like, nah. We not playing that game, Horace, because this is my son, Charles. And if Norman did that, I know Norman is crazy. Because remember, her and Norman had that stare down and they both had that conversation with each other. You cross the line, I'm crossing the line. You go low, I'm going lower. So she says, no, I'm staying here until you guys bring Norman here because I want to talk to him too. Mallory goes out to talk to Jules as he leaves because he's supposed to be trying to get Norman to come back to the house so everybody can pretty much jump him and confront him about what he did to Charles. Now, when we get out there, Mallory is saying, listen, do you have a plan? Can you really handle this? Do you know anyone that we can bring here and say that they did this whole thing? He's like, let me see. I can make a few calls. But then we hear the conversation and it gets kind of fishy and we're all listening like, does Mallory have something to do with all of these girls that Jules has? And we're like, wait a minute. I know Mallory isn't tied up into this. Is she or is she not? Kimmy's all over the place, but rightfully so. They kidnapped her sister. Now she's trying to figure out what's the next move. They just got rid of Delinda's body, dropped that thing on off. Body's body is sitting in the front of the motel, stanking. And Angel, he's right. We don't have anywhere to go. We can't really make moves. So he's trying to hear her out and be rational. But she's like, we got to do something. He said, well, do what? Kill somebody? Because you can do that? She said, yeah, and I got the stomach for it. So basically, she's on a rampage. But they got this car. It's a chopped car. It's a stolen car. They got to be low key. But she wants him to take her to another location. Calvin pulls up to the motel and he gives a call to Jules like, uh-oh, I think it's one of our girls. It turns out it is one of their girls. It's Body's body. Now they're looking for witness and they find a guy by the name of Debo. This guy Debo comes over. He's like, yeah, my name Debo. My mama ain't named me this. Who y'all, cops? With y'all feds or something? They like, we just want some questions answered from you. Do you have any? He's like, yeah, man, I seen these girls. They were getting into it. They was fighting. And then boom, out of nowhere, one hit her with the car. Now you can tell that this guy's a junkie. There's a difference between a motel and a hotel. You don't go to the motel unless you're trying to be in and out. When you start staying multiple nights at the motel, there's going to be some unsavory characters. But basically, what he tells Calvin is, get this dude, Debo, as high as possible. I got a plan. You remember what Mallory asked him, bring someone back. The dysfunctional family, well, they're continuing to go at it. Olivia's going at Horace. Horace is telling her, you just want revenge. She's like, oh, you want revenge too? These two have their own little personal beef. Plus, she wants the money. And the only way she can get it is if everything goes to her sons, then she'll be taken care of. But Horace, he starts coughing, and we know that he's been having problems. Mallory tries to help. Olivia's like, leave him alone. He has a butler. You're either a slave or you become a demon with this family. You gotta decide. Now, the whole family, they still think that Charles is unalive. Uncle Norman finally shows up to the house, but on his own accord. Remember, they were supposed to be hunting him down. And when he gets there, everyone's like, you killed Charles. You did this. What's wrong with you? He's like, I didn't do that, but somebody killed my wife. Now, he's trying to downplay it. Olivia, she can see right through it. They already had this one-on-one conversation, and she knows what he's capable of. And he even says, Horace isn't the guy you need to be scared of. You need to be scared of Olivia. So right now, Everyone is clashing. Now he's even talking bad to Roy. He basically told Roy to shut the F up and just stay in the back. You ain't nothing. Then Norman starts breaking down the whole wheel and why their father set it up the way he did. Because he's exposing the whole family. Y'all ain't love these boys. You think our dad set the wheel up like this because we loved each other? He knew we would be fighting each other. He knew we would be going after each other for the money. I mentioned that in the last episode. Greed is what brings a family down, especially when there's a large lump sum of money and someone passed. Now, Horace, he even starts taking a little dig like, man, you don't love us either. You should have bought you a younger wife. You got a mail order bride. So I'm like, oh man, here we go. We're not going to get anything done. But then a surprise happens. Charles shows up and he's like, oh, this is just another day in the family. Everybody's looking like, what? Whoa. What the hell is going on? Charles is like, oh, what's going on? Hey, what's up, Norman? Wait, did you really try to unalive me? You really tried to kill me, send bullets through? Damn, that's kind of crazy, Unc. I can't believe you would do it. So everybody's looking at Charles like, what the hell you got going on? But remember, he said he wanted to let his family suffer a little bit. So he just stayed at his house. Now Charles is back and they're like, well, wait. You tried to unalive Charles, but you weren't successful. But we know that you did it. So that's still just as bad that you would go through something like this. And then after we find out that Charles is alive, we get another surprise. The next surprise that shows up is Jules and Debo. Remember, they got him high and now he's confessing, yeah, I was trying to steal some stuff and I ended up hitting a lady. Jules even shows Horace video footage saying, yeah, this is him right here. This is him right here. Now it's AI footage. They had to edit it. But now all hands are pointed at Debo. And you hear Uncle Norman talking about, let me at him. They're like, nah, let me handle this. Because Jules, he's trying to clear everybody's name. Even though we know it was Mallory and Roy that got rid of the body. But Mallory is the reason that this whole season is going the way that it is. Kimmy and Angel, they been on the road. They in this bucket. They got to be low key. Well, the next place that they go to Kimmy's mother's house because she has to ask what happened to her sister. Now, we already know that they didn't gave her up. But when they get there, she goes in there. She hits the boyfriend in the head with a pot. They get to going at it. I'm talking about bing, bop, boom, bop, bing, bop, bam. But then he gets the whooping on her. I'm talking about, damn, it ain't looking good at all. The mom is talking about that car. Don't worry about where I got it. My boyfriend bought it. They going at it. But then Kimmy, she's getting overpowered. Luckily for Angel, he comes in with that shotgun. He's like, back up now. Well, he ain't had that much bass in his voice. You know, Angel kind of little hee. But he came in there with a shotgun. And he's like, back up. Kimmy, let's get up out of here. Kimmy talking about, shoot him. I'm like, damn, Kimmy, you want to kill everybody. But they make it up out of here. I won't say safely, but alive. Horace has Varney come over because he needs to talk to him about a little bit of business. But if you remember, the judge was on the phone with Norman. He's like, man, I ain't gonna lie, Horace wants to see me. And they were like, go over there. Well, when they go into the office, he tells the judge to grab a cigar. But when he reaches in there, he's like, nah, get the red one. Now, I don't know where the hell Horace got a stick of dynamite from, but he tells him to put it in his mouth and he comes over and asking him some questions. What are you and my brother doing? What do y'all got going on? Now, you got a stick of dynamite in your hand and he's smoking a cigar. You're about to give up that information, even though you could just throw the stick of dynamite at him. He's like, look, your brother, he wanted a strip club to launders a few $1 million. That's it. That's all I know. I don't know anything else. Horace is like, a couple $1 million. And then he stabs him in his hand. It's like, you lucky I didn't take this further than that. But the judge, nervous as hell. He been building up that 401k though, off of all that money from Norman. We haven't seen much of Calvin like we did in the first half of this series, but him and Jules, they're working overtime. He goes to Delinda's house because he needs to find out what's going on since Body's body is gone. And when he gets there, he sees that Delinda's on the floor. He calls Jules like, yeah, we got a problem. Delinda is canceled, meaning we're out of 2 people within 24 hours. He's like, God dog it. So Jules says, all right, look, we'll send somebody over there to clean that mess up. But we gotta find out where the hell Kimmy and them are because I know they're behind this. After stabbing up the judge and giving him a stick of dynamite to see how it tastes, he goes outside to talk to Varney. And the lawyer is here and he's, yes, sir. No, sir. Okay, sir. He's like, quit kissing ass. I need you to go over that will and see how I can get all of these shares to come to me. And basically he's saying, listen, you're a very, very smart man. He was going in on Roy talking about, if Roy wasn't his son, he'd be doing tricks, sucking on a little, it ain't a pina colada, if you know what I mean. Or he'd just be doing it just because. But he's telling Varney, I need you to go over this contract. I need you to go over the will and make sure that I can come out victoriously. And you should have been my son, because I hate my two boys. He's talking about Charles and Roy. So Varney's like, okay, I'll do that, sir. Motel BBL Rain is still laid up in this hospital. I don't know how long it's been, but Kimmy and Angel, they show up and they're talking to her. And she's like, what are you guys doing? I need to get out of here. I need to go with you guys. It's crazy. Y'all done took out Body and Linda and you done went over to your family. She's like, let me go with y'all. She's like, nah, I got to do this. I got to figure this out. I got to figure out where my sister is. My mama sold my sister. So Rain is talking about she's going to get out and help. She's looking over at Angel. And then and Angel's like, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I saved her when we went to her mama's house, but it's getting ridiculous. So Rain is trying to be a voice of reason, but that BBL from the motel that's filled with concrete is scrubbing the ground. She's not gonna be any help. Roy shows up to Mallory's office because they gotta have a conversation. Now, when they get in here, the conversation isn't going the way Roy really wants it to go. Basically, Mallory's belittling him. She's always saying he ain't worth a damn. He ain't got no talents. He ain't gonna do nothing. He needs the money. Now he starts talking about, who have you been effing around with? She's like, my man. He's like, who is that? And then she starts going into descriptive. I'm like, no. We don't need those details. And then she asks him, does he kiss and tell? He says, nah, I don't do no kissing. I'm like, all right, they going back and forth. So they both know each other's messing around. Roy is just trying to get an upper hand because at this point, he's already noticed that the whole family doesn't love him. So Mallory, she's just keeping him around so she'll be in the good graces. After Roy leaves Mallory's office, he runs into exactly who she was describing, and she was describing Calvin. Now, Calvin, as I mentioned earlier, we haven't seen him much, but he gets here and Roy's like, you're the one that's been smashing my wife. Calvin's like, nah, what are you talking about? I wouldn't do nothing like that. I'm attracted to you. Basically playing in his face. Roy's like, hey, nah, ain't nothing like that. He starts going into the details of stuff. Well, yeah, I'm attracted to you. Them waves, the way you wear your suit. I'm like, man, what the hell? But Calvin's trying to throw him off his scent. But then he says something and he takes it too far. Roy pushes him like, man, don't you tried to punch me the other night too. Man, don't you say nothing to me like that. But Roy's just trying to figure things out, and Roy's about to do what Roy does. There we go. Now, I told you, Roy is going to do what Roy does, and Roy does Roy things. He takes a hit of that cocaine, and then he calls up his number one thing, and it's Kimmy. He's like, I need you to be at the hotel at noon. Don't meet me there, beat me there. She's like, yes, daddy. And Rain's like, who you calling daddy? Now, she explains to Rain that, look, the son is calling me. I gotta go over there. And she's like, well, didn't they try to set you up to get you on the line? She's like, yeah, but I gotta find my sister. So this is any means necessary. Kimmy's about to head over there, risk her life. He's about to be coked up. And we're gonna see how this plays out in episode 11. All right, there you go. The recap for episode 10. Let me know what you think about Kimmy. Is she on a rampage and can she be controlled? And also, will this family come to a complete all-out war, or will they be able to squash this since they found Debo, who was really the one that set it off? Let me know what you think. I'm Modi J. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for episode 11 recap of Beauty in Black. If you like this kind of content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.